Anti-slave question everything.
Anti-slave question everything. Anti-slave question everything.
Welcome to Anti-slave question everything.
Question everything. Question everything. Anti-slave question everything. Anti-slave question everything.
Anti-slave question everything.
Anti-slave question everything. Anti-slave question everything. Anti-slave question everything. Welcome to Anti-slave question everything.
Hello and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Anti-Slave Question Everything. Today is a special episode. I want to say sorry though in advance for the abrupt cutoff at the end of it. I got an emergency call on my maintenance phone and shit, and as a maintenance guy, I had to answer it and go do what I have to do. The interview kind of ended a little abruptly. However, this conversation that I had with my buddy Voilame was still a very important one, and it was still a really badass one. So I urge you guys all to check it out. Really quickly though, I do want to say that if you're watching this on YouTube, it'd be cool if you liked and subscribed, and if you're listening to this on Spotify, it'd be cool if you follow. I am also on Twitter and Instagram at AntiSlaveQE. You can also find my subreddit, and the subreddit is just called r/AntiSlaveQE. So if you want to see what I be posting, I do be posting shit there often. All of Voilame's social media links will be included within the link description of this video and or podcast. And now without further ado, the conversation between me and my good buddy Voilame. Enjoy it, everybody. There we go. Oh, okay, cool. Right on. So hello and welcome to another episode of Anti-Slave Question Everything. Today we have again with us Voilame.
What's going on?
And I know that you did an introduction last time, but I wanted you to do it again because we always just gain new listeners and you know.
Oh, okay. So I'm Voilame. I'm known on social media as Voilame. You can find me on TikTok, Voilame_3.0, Voilame_4, VOILAME_4. And on TikTok, on Instagram, you can find me at VOILAME_. I'm known as a conspiracy theorist with actual facts behind me, though.
Yeah, right on, man. So how you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm cooling and relaxing, man. Enjoying this wonderful sun, and this wonderful time happening right now. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Keeping positive daily, daily routines.
Yeah, so
Daily
much
routines.
going on, man. So much.
There's been a lot going on. And how have you been feeling since all that shit, since July 5th?
Oh man, I told you, I knew it was coming, but most people were like, "Oh, ain't nothing gonna happen." Nothing happened that day, but people were seeing changes in the sky, faces and apparitions. They're seeing weird patterns and formations and clouds. I get people sending me stuff all the time of different
yeah, dude.
formations.
Yeah, dude, that shit with the hypnotic drink one, that blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, I
That
told
shit.
you it wasn't. Most people will say, "Oh, that's just marketing and branding," but people were showing that from like 2000s. They're like, "Look, this has always been this since the 2000s, and now it just all of a sudden changed."
Yeah, man, that's just fucking wild. My computer just started doing that screen shit again. Remember last time that I was telling you about? I just tried to whip my phone out to try to record that shit, and it fucking, as soon as I got my sons of bitches.
Yeah.
As soon as I got that shit out, dude, it fucking went right back to normal. God damn it.
That's how it goes, man. Just keep your
That's
vibration
funny.
high. Phase them out of existence.
That is crazy, man. So what's your take on those Georgia guidestones getting fucking blown up, dude?
I'll be real with y'all. One of the reasons why they blew up is because it proves that we're in a dome. Because on one of the Georgia guidestones, it had a hole in it, and when you looked at the hole, through the hole, you can see how the sun would set differently than what we've been told. Also, basically, to sum it up, you can see the Polaris through it. So if you don't know what that is, just look it up, Polaris, then you'll understand. Another reason why it's blown up is because their order is done. Their whole matrix is done. There was a time capsule buried under it. So let me tell you something about that too. Have y'all noticed how fast they cleaned that up? After it blew up, they didn't even do an investigation. They just cleaned it up. Isn't that strange? All of those stones cost about $100,000 a piece, and they were like, "No, it's okay." I thought that was kind of strange that they did no investigation almost, and they just went right through it. Oh, nothing happened.
Definitely fucking weird, dude. And the video of the Georgia Guidestones exploding, bro. That
Yeah,
shit looked like some beam of energy or something, like, or like a fucking super fast rocket or some shit. Or I don't know, maybe it was just the camera not being able to pick up with the speed of shit or what, but it looked
no,
like
you're right. That's called a directed energy weapon. It's called DEW, DEW. So basically, you seen those movies when they have satellite cannons? That's real. It's made by a company called DARPA, DARPA. They make all kinds of robotic insects, birds, um, like robot dogs. They make all kinds of stuff. They're the defense technology company for America, and
dude, that is crazy.
so that was actually shot by an energy weapon from the sky. It wasn't just no coincidence, because if you look at the wreckage of how the rocks fell, they all fell in one direction. If it was a real explosion, the rocks would have been everywhere. But if you look at the pictures and videos, the rocks are all in one direction, slanted.
Yeah,
So some,
man.
so it
Oh,
was a beam or laser, and I have pictures of that on my profile. I have videos of that too on my profile. You could check out.
that's right. I think I saw too. I don't know if it was your profile. I think it was your. I think I saw it on your profile. But on TikToks there was a lady saying something about the Vatican being on fire.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that was.
Vatican. There's a
Is
place
that
in
a
Italy.
similar thing that you think maybe happened? Like, is this like an event that like the event started with the Guidestones and then it's the Vatican and then
Yeah, honestly, because as soon as CERN turned on, all this stuff. What most people don't know is we have a machine called LZ. LZ is a dark matter detector. So basically, dark matter is the essence of creation or the essence of the universe. They're trying to either merge our dimension. If they can't merge our dimension, they're trying to create their own universe from dark matter. That's basically how the universe started. You've heard of the Big Bang, right? The Big Bang started with a dark matter particle, and that's what they're looking for. You know how they say they're looking for the God particle or
yeah,
The Higgs boson
yeah.
particle is what it's called. They're basically trying to create their own universe because they know that some higher beings are coming to the planet, and no matter what they do, they're gonna get wiped. Pretty much, they're getting
Oh
wiped.
man. So they're in fear, kinda.
Yeah,
That
they're
makes sense.
all this is fear, and they're trying to basically they put all this stuff out in media towards you, fear, sadness, pain, grief, and all this to collect your energy. Because if y'all don't know, we are collective conscious energy. So they honestly CERN harnesses that too. It's not just electromagnetic energy, our in like we have heart telepathy. All of our hearts are connected. That's why you can feel how other people feel when you're in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with our collective energy right now. They're trying to show you all this stuff, like coming out with all this media stuff that looks sad and painful, and oh, I can't believe they're doing that, to get you mad and angry when you just need to be calm first off, and then analyze the situation, process the emotion, and let it go to stay in your highest vibration. Because, like I said, they're trying to keep us down here. And some people will stay because they're stuck in their mind and they're stuck in their old behavior patterns and won't move forward in their own life, and that'll hinder you and hold you back like an anchor.
Mm.
So, and the 5D thing, the 3D and 5D thing, I got to tell y'all, 5D is losing your physical body. To be real with you, most people think, we're gonna have our physical bodies. I'll just leave it up to you as speculation, but 5D is light bodies. So this is an avatar we have on our bodies. Think of your spine and your heart as your controller, right?
Right.
Your body is the system, and right now you're playing a game in life right now to figure out your lessons. Some people are main characters, some people are side characters. Some things you do are side missions, and some things help you on your main mission. The main, you know what I mean, as a
I
video
do.
gamer.
Yeah, right,
So
right. Exactly.
all this ties in together with basically raising your vibration frequency and your energy. And a lot of people come here for Earth is a school, and a lot of people come here for different lessons. And once you pass your lesson, you'll move on to the next grade or the next level, which is 4D and 5D. 4D is basically, it's called the Tesseract. It's basically a shadow of 5D. If you've seen the movie Interstellar, that explains what 4D is. When he goes into the cube, the whole 4D is like a cube and it's instant manifestations. So anything you think of will start happening just like within seconds of what you're talking about. That's how fast the instant manifestation is. 5D is the speed of light, and the basically our light bodies upgrade. So there's a chance that our physical bodies and light bodies can combine because we're one of the first planets in the entire cosmos everywhere. I'm talking about in any universe to evolve as a collective consciousness. So there's a chance that we might our body, our physical body and our spiritual body might combine. I'm not I don't this is just speculation, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a possibility.
Right, right. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy. And really too, there's really no point to be getting down or feeling negative about the shit that's happening anyways, because like there's nothing we can do about it. They're gonna be wanting to do their experiments, whether anybody here says anything, whether or not they don't give a fuck, you know.
Not
So
at all.
it's like you can't stop them. If you can't go put your goddamn foot in the door and pull the switch to turn that machine off, then I mean, what are you gonna do? They're obviously gonna be super protected by whatever fucking government fucking agencies that are out there, so it's just like, what are you gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah. Just relax and control you. That's all you can. That's the best thing you can do. Realize that we're all the same person. I didn't understand at first when people said that. So basically, the people around you are a reflection of you and a reflection of some things you need to fix. So if you keep seeing repeated patterns or repeated behaviors, even in other people around you, there's a lesson in that as well. Like, why do I keep being around this certain group of people? It's because there's something in that group of people that's teaching you a lesson, but you're overlooking it or you're not paying attention.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's like right around this shit when this thing with CERN happened too. Right before I found out that they were even doing anything that could be causing anything happening,
Mhm.
I just quit drinking, right? And then
Mhm.
now, just after all this shit, and then with like the positivity, and then the things that I've been doing, I've been listening to the high frequency music, um, been trying to enjoy the sunshine instead of hate it so
Yeah.
much, because I usually don't like being in the heat when I'm working in the heat all day, and it
Yeah.
pisses me off. But I've been combating every single time I've been feeling a negative emotion about some shit. I've been combating it with like a positive emotion, and I've noticed that like literally my fucking depression and shit has disappeared. And like
Mhm.
just this past work week has been a very stressful fucking week at work. My boss has been out sick. Dude, we had like two apartments that just got rented out, and it was like literally up to me to get fucking the shit all put together and everything, out. Normally I'd be pissed off and be coming home and like being like, I need to get fucking drunk. Dude, I didn't feel that way this week. So it was just fuck, it was crazy for me too, because a lot of the times my dad and stuff, he'd be telling me, he's like, I'll be taking this shit that they prescribed, and it makes me feel better. And I'm always like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And
Yep.
I've just noticed a fucking crazy noticeable difference, bro. Like a crazy noticeable difference. Just reforming the way that I think about shit.
And then honestly, what most people don't know, your thoughts are electricity. You have this thing around you called a toroidal field or a torus field. Basically, when you shoot your thoughts out, imagine a circle around you. Every time you shoot those thoughts out, the circle goes around you and helps to shape your environment. That's why they say your thoughts create your universe and your thoughts create your world. You literally, this is scientifically proven, your thoughts are electricity that shoot out into the world and will basically develop your world and your environment based on what you're thinking. That's why they try to program you so much in media and show you all this stuff to make you think a certain way so you don't think for yourself. And one of the biggest things I did when I first started was like, this is a lie. This doesn't look at stuff that doesn't match up. I started off with slavery. I started looking at stuff that didn't match up. And then once I started from there, it was like my tree roots. It started spreading into other things, like spreading all over into other things. So that's my advice to y'all. If you're planning on researching the truth, start off with something you like and look for discrepancies. And then from there you'll start learning about other stuff. And you'll be like, wow, all this stuff was a lie. That's crazy. I didn't know they had bird cameras right on the three-letter agency website. I got
That's
a
right,
video on
man.
my page. You can go
That's
look at
right. I totally, after I seen that video on your page, I dove into that, man. I dove into that. And just a moment ago when you were talking about that the DARPA place that was doing shit with like robotic animals and shit. I
yeah.
was gonna mention that about how you shared that on your page. I was like, dude, yeah, I got onto their website, got onto the archives, downloaded the fucking file, read through it, and like I remember the whole, the people being like the birds aren't real. It was a joke, it was a joke. But it's like, dude, for real though, how easy would it be for them with the technology that they have?
Mhm.
They were talking about bird camera harnesses in 1976.
Yeah.
Like,
So
how
what do you
how
think
much
they
have we
got now?
evolved? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How much have we evolved in those? I mean, fucking Gundam now, dude.
Let me give you some of this research, y'all. You remember how Mr. Gates released mosquitoes in Florida, I think it was, or it was a southern state. He released a bunch of mosquitoes, right? You know that same company makes robot mosquitoes too, right? Yeah. So y'all go ahead and research
Man.
that so y'all can put your puzzle pieces together.
Oh man, that's crazy nanotechnology, dude.
Yeah. People thought it
Wow.
was they've had nanotechnology since the 80s or the 70s. They've been putting it in micro doses in all of our food. They spray it in aerosol, the chemtrails.
Yeah.
Part of what part of the reason why they spray chemtrails every day is to spray what's called smart dust in the sky. So whenever you go to your car and it looks like dust and you pick it up, that goes into your lungs. And they make these things called morgellons. These are like basically robotic parasites. I got a video on my page on that too. When they basically they give you many pieces and all these different things and they start combining like Legos to make up like an electronic parasite. Some of these parasites can attach to your cells. They have robots the size of cells. I have it on my page. They have robots the size of cells that they're trying to attach to your cells so they can interfere with your way of thinking. Same thing with the 5G technology. They have 5G electromagnetic resonance waves that can basically interfere with your frequency. So each one of your body parts has a different frequency. And whenever you're around 5G tech, I have a video on my page. It basically shoots a sonic wave at you. And if they have the right frequency, they can interrupt. Let's say your heart's beating like this boom, 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 boom. They shoot a wave at it, boom, 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 boom. Then your heart starts picking up, or your liver malfunctions. They have that technology right now. They're trying to
That
get
is
us ready for 6G. 6G is basically combining your electronics with your body. That's what if you ever played the game Cyberpunk, that's exactly what they're doing next. That's 6G. They were already talking about by 2030 you won't have a cell phone anymore. And what most people don't know, they already have a wristwatch that you can put on that shines a light upon your skin and it'll show your home screen on your cell phone on your skin. They already have that.
Wow. That is the
Mhm.
future. The future is now, man. Like, dude,
Yeah.
beam me up, Scotty. Type shit.
Yeah, literally.
Fallout shit, dude. And I seen some shit earlier on Reddit where this guy posted some stuff where he's you could do the HDMI to your to their glasses, right? With
Yeah.
their augmented reality. And he was showing all the Microsoft holograms and shit, what he was doing on his computer and stuff. And he had
Yeah.
the Fallout 3 like background music going on. So
Yeah.
wild, dude.
They already
So
have
wild.
holograms. They use them in Chinese airports. Like the lady will talk to you from a small platform that shines light straight up like a hologram, like you've seen on Star Trek, Star Wars. They have that already. They have that real life. They even
Wow,
have
man.
they have a phone called Red, REDD, that you can project holograms from a phone.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like Darth Sidious talking to Darth Sidious.
yeah.
Man, that is crazy. That is
Now,
crazy.
I told people technology. So in the 1800s, they had technology. It wasn't that, horse and carriage stuff. They had basically wireless horse and carriages, like cars back then. They had subway systems. You should look up the civilization of Tartaria. Mr. Putin, Vladimir Putin, he published an archive of maps of Tartaria, and Tartaria looks like a combination of all the countries put together. I'm gonna leave you at that. Go look at it and you'll understand.
Mm. Like it was a massive split at some point.
Yeah,
And this
or
technology or
or a mud flood.
a mud flood.
The mud flood is basically they cataclysmically started a flood artificially in order to break up the continents. Have you heard of Pangea?
Mm-hmm.
Tartaria was Pangea,
Oh.
basically. And they already had advanced technology. I got all this. They even in the King Arthur times when they would wear chainmail at nights, they show us that armor and stuff, right? But people don't know like the chainmail they had. I have a video on my page. The chainmail that they had was conductive to electricity, and some of the swords they had could shoot electricity. I got a video on my page on my Instagram. Just go check it out. You'll understand when you see it.
That is
Like,
super wild. That
yeah,
is
we've had
super wild.
technology for a long time in our civilization. They just hide it from us. Like I told you, they have technology 300 years ahead of us. And it's not that they have it ahead of us, is that they've held us back for
Mm,
300 years. Because
right.
we can already travel to other planets. Like, seriously, we can terraform planets and make civilizations already. It's just that they want to hold the technology to control you forever. And now that we're breaking out of the matrix, you starting to see all this stuff come to light. Like, oh, I didn't know, they had all this tech. Like literally in the 18, I got a video on my page. In the 1800s, if you've ever seen the movie Men in Black, when they were riding on that one wheel, that silver thing in the car, when they were going through town,
Yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
real. That was real. That's called a one wheel. That's an actual device. That was real.
Oh, right on, dude. Like a little gyro cycle. Like
Yeah,
in Borderlands, I think they call it a gyro cycle in Borderlands.
exactly. They
That's
actually had that.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And this this talk about ancient technology, like it really ties into like one of the topics I wanted to get into with you today.
Mhm.
And that's like pyramids, man. Like how are these pyramids conducted this energy? How where it came from? Like where do you think the pyramids came from in the first place?
So the pyramids were built before us. Before humans were even created, the pyramids were already there. If you look at the Sphinx next to the Giza pyramids, that Sphinx is almost 100,000 years or more older than the pyramids. Number one. Number two, they used to have a lush jungle where those pyramids are. All pyramids are, they basically conduct electricity and magnetism. So let me describe it like this. They used to have water aqueducts when it was full of water by the pyramids, and they would use the water to help conduct electricity too. So at the bottom of the pyramid, it's connected to the earth, right? So this is the earth, right? The earth is
Mm-hmm.
a giant magnet. Okay. So the earth magnetism goes inside the pyramid. There's special chambers that go up in the pyramid, right? So basically think of the middle of the pyramid as a tuning fork. As soon as the magnetism hits the tuning fork in the middle, when it reaches the top, it amplifies the energy and makes a toroidal field. It makes extra energy, Wi-Fi. It was a power source. It would increase your electromagnetism. It would increase your vibration naturally. So when people have dreams of levitating and being by water, it's because it used to be an ancient civilization. before the Egyptians got there, because the Egyptians dug the pyramids up. All the stuff they told us in history books was a lie. They were dug up by the Egyptians, and the Egyptians utilized the technology of sound and frequencies to their advantage, and they became a powerhouse. So at the top of pyramids too, they had this thing called a bin stone. So it's a conductor basically. So it will be made out of granite sometimes, gold, and some copper and some other things sometimes. And that would amplify the energy. So like I told you, if it was a tuning fork and you amplify that energy and then put it through another amplification device, you can actually break the barriers of time and space and open up a portal.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
most people think portals aren't real. They've had portals on the planet for a long time. Like if you look at certain structures, like there's a temple in Mexico that when you clap, you can hear the echo go all the way up. And when you go up to, they stop letting people go in those temples too, not just because of tourists, but because when you got to the top and you clapped, you could hear the sounds of dragons, or you could hear the sounds of like mythical beasts at some of these, because the frequency was so high up there that it would naturally increase your own frequency, and you would see all kinds of crazy stuff afterwards. There's some people who went up there and then the next week or two they've been having crazy dreams and all this. But basically pyramids also were, though, you know how they say they use slaves to move the rocks. You couldn't, even if you had 100,000 slaves, one of those bricks weighed more than, I don't know, 200,000 people, and you expect people to slide those? No way. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you how they did it. You remember those pharaohs and people who had scepters? You remember the scepters that they had?
Mm-hmm.
Those scepters were giant tuning forks. I have a video on my page about levitating rocks. So, like I said, with the Earth is magnetism. They would use an opposite polarity scepter to hit the Earth. So they'll hit the Earth, boom, right? As soon as they hit the Earth, it would shoot like a magnetism electric current through the scepter or the tuning fork. When it reached the top at a certain frequency, if you reach a certain frequency, you can levitate things, even yourself, because it's electromagnetism. Now, to some people that sounds crazy. I got all the videos on my page for everything I'm talking about. They
Yeah,
can
man.
they hit the scepter, it would shoot the electricity and the magnetism up the scepter, amplify to a certain degree. That's why they had different scepters that look like different shapes. Because if you harness, like they had shapes like this that would basically make electric currents in between the shape like this.
Right,
And
right, man.
when they had enough electricity and sound waves, they would shoot it at it and pick up the blocks.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. I saw some thread on stolenhistory.com
Mhm.
about old Catholic priests guys that would have these power staffs. So
Yeah.
like yeah, it's all throughout history. It's not just, it's not, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just so crazy that like all these reoccurring things did happen in history that just kind of got snuffed out and, really not talked about. And people just wanted to completely teach this false version of history to like, and in the grand scheme of things, when you really look at it, with the Antarctic Treaty and whatnot, when was
Hmm.
that? Like 1958 when they put that into place?
About 1959 when they did it.
1959. Okay, so see that in the grand scheme of things, that was not that long ago, you know?
Mm-mm.
And obviously at that point in time they were already teaching like a globe philosophy in schools and shit, but it wasn't necessarily outlawed to be, fucking going out exploring, blah 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 blah. That one guy that did the thing, he said there was land beyond there.
Admiral Byrd.
Yeah, that guy. So it's just so crazy to me that like it's like everything that everyone's ever been taught, you know, is a lie. And
Yep.
like we're on, I don't know what we're on. I think it's like realm whatever, but obviously,
Three.
it's set up like some, and like these pyramids, was there any, obviously there is some sort of significance in the placement of them, because it seems like they're so intricately placed in separate parts around the world,
Yeah, so I'll explain that too. So if you look at the latitude and longitude of all pyramids on the planet, they all equal, if you add them up, they all equal the speed of light. Number one. Number two, they were placed there. Most people think the whole world is flat. The whole world isn't flat. So there's speculation that the world could be a cube. There's special, and the world could be flat. The world is a sphere, so a circle, like that one behind you in your picture, right? The world is a sphere, but our area is a flatland like this. So our area is flat, and there's a dome over our area. But there's 178 domes on this planet. We only know about our area because that's what they taught us. Because why would all these countries set up a treaty for you not to leave Antarctica? Because Antarctica is one of the X's out of the dome.
Mm,
Most people think aliens come from outer space. There is outer space, but there is other areas. So like Mars, you know how we have Mars the planet, we have Mars the city on the planet. But when people say, "Oh, I traveled around the world," you only travel around the world in our dome. That's what I'm trying to tell people. So both people are right. It's flat. So we're in a dome. All this video is on my page that explains it. So we're all in little domes, and each dome has special characteristics. Like one will be just a jungle dome, just like the Avatar. One will be just like a jungle dome. One will have no sun. One will just be ice. It's different variations. The reason why I bring up domes is because our portals, like I told people, are around the planet and they're energetic fields. And you have to have a certain frequency, vibration, and energy in order to go through these. And they have these areas around the world that are temples that are open, but they go nowhere. So they have an opening, like let's say this is the opening right here on the screen. They
hmm
have an opening, but there's nothing behind it. But people don't
hmm
understand that that is a port. Some of those, I have a video on my page about that. It shows temples with gates that go nowhere. And it's not because the civilization failed. That gate was built like that to go in the portal when you have a certain frequency vibration. You can open it, go through it, and transfer to one of those other dome like areas. So, the city, you've ever heard of Lemuria and Atlantis? They still exist. They're just not in our dome or our area. The same thing with there's another area called Area, Aeria, and another area called Chi. It's spelled Chi, just like Chi. There's an area like that, and I have all this on my Instagram and my TikTok. You can check them out. It's on Voilame_4. You can go and check that video out. And I have a whole map. The map is called the Terra, Terra Infinita, Infinita map. So there's more areas to Earth that we haven't seen yet. When Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica, most people don't know there's a pyramid or pyramids in Antarctica, number one. Number two, once you get past a certain point in Antarctica, it becomes lush land and it's green. It's not always cold down there like they've always told us. Part of the ice wall was man-made.
Oh, wow.
It's not just because it's below the equator and it always stays cold. That's what they've told us. It's that ice wall. If you look at how some of those walls are shaped, it looks cut like a laser precision cut across. And
Mm.
they have a place in Antarctica called the Crystal Cove. I have a video talking about it through a cartoon. They put it in media right in your face because they have to tell you. But anyway, it's called
Right.
Crystal Cove, and on that cove, the way the ice looks, it looks straight up like crystals. Like the ice looks like crystals, clear crystal. Look up Crystal Cove, Antarctica.
Okay. Wow, man, that's intense.
hmm
It's
There's a
seriously
lot.
intense.
There's a lot, bro. Like Some people will say that don't make sense. It's not what I learned because if for some of y'all who don't know, they literally bought America in like the 1920s when they bought the pharmacy and the health industry. They bought the schooling system and the oil system as well. One of the families, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, what they did real quick on the health industry, I'm gonna just tell y'all, they literally bought the health industry. You should look up the AMA Association. They basically said, hey, we'll pay for everything you need to with this school system, but you got to teach my specific curriculum. But at the same time, oil based or petroleum based medicine came out at the same time. And then they started doing marketing campaigns against natural alternative medicines, alternatives. That's where that came from. They did marketing campaigns to discredit alternative medicines back
Wow.
then. So at the medicines that have been working for 10 thousands of years, they used to put all kinds of stuff. Did you know they had over 250 medicines with cannabis in it? Over 250, from
That's insane.
syrups, cough syrups to everything. Another family called the DuPont family, they had just came out with synthetic rope. They were about to have hemp clothing. If you didn't know, that cotton shirt you got on right now, let's say it lasts 2 years. If you had that shirt made out of hemp, it would last 10. And they didn't, a lot, that's why I said a lot of stuff that we know was manipulated in order to control us and in order to make us pay for stuff that we don't need, like light bulbs, real quick. Light, the first light bulb ever created is still on to this day. Why do we still pay for light bulbs? There's a lot of products that we've had. We've had water powered cars. In 1971, they made a hemp power car Ford. You can look that up. A hemp powered car, and they made the body out of a dense plastic. It was so hard. There was a man hitting it with a mallet, and there was no dents. They've made
Wow.
a car, bro. They've had so much technology, bro. That's why I tell people like all the stuff you not learned in school was meant for you to be a slave worker. The 8 hour work week, the 8 hour sleep schedule came to from the 8 hour work week. They wanted you to sleep 8 hours so that's enough time for you to go to sleep, wake up, and go back to work. You don't need 8 hours of sleep. You can sleep on 4 or 5 hours depending on your diet and what you eat. The healthier you eat, the less sleep you can run on because your body has less time to digest and work through all the uh, excess foods and junk in your body. That's why they put so much stuff in food too. That's why I say all this stuff ties together.
Yeah, man. Oh man, yeah, it's all intricately like all connected, just like fucking crazy, dude. The ties in the rivers run so fucking deep.
Hmm.
So deep, dude. And
And
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying the programming is so deep that there's some people who won't escape the system because imagine your internet turn off forever.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Some people are gonna lose their fucking shit. I'm a boogie
Hmm.
out to the mountains, dude.
Yeah, me too. I'm cool. I
Yeah.
used to live in the mountains, so I know
It's
how to
super
spend.
peaceful.
It's chill.
It's
So
super
that
peaceful.
yeah.
Love it. I love that shit, man. I love
Mm-hmm.
that shit. Are people allowed to explore the pyramids, or is that shit kind of cut off to the public, similar to Antarctica?
So they do certain tours. They'll show you certain places because some of those pyramids still have booby traps to this day. And if
Mm,
you step on the wrong plate, like Indiana Jones, something will either shoot at you. Some of them have been deactivated, but some of those places will probably lead you to other places or lead you down underground because there's still underground areas under the pyramids. And if you go the wrong way, so they have places you can climb up and down, but
hmm.
only certain people were allowed. You know what I'm saying? They used to let people go in the 80s compared to now. They used to let people go and explore and all this. And for you people who don't know, they used to send archaeologists and painters in to repaint some of the hieroglyphics, not with the same intention that you think.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That is so crazy, man. So they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
manipulate the fucking. They're manipulating
Exactly.
everything, manipulating the
Everything.
past, the present, the future.
Mm-hmm.
That because it's
Everything.
insane, man. And do you personally think? Because I do you think that it is that the pyramids were alien technology, or do you think it's human technology, or is it like some sort of sentient AI technology, or
Is before us. All pyramids are before us because the calculations it would take in order to perfectly set all the pyramids up, like the Giza pyramids, they're all set up to match. I think it's Orion's constellation. Humans are smart, but to determine that from a flat plane to look at the sky and use stars, but they didn't have that kind of symmetry yet, like physics and all that. They didn't have that yet, or
mm,
that we know of. That's why I said it's more applicable to say that the pyramids that were made before us came from a lush water civilization or a civilization that was way more advanced than us because they may have had technology that we don't have right now. And I show
mm.
people that all the time with all kinds of technology and old buildings. Like they destroyed a lot of old buildings so you won't recognize the technology. They used to have buildings, those pillars on certain buildings. Some of those used to rotate and generate free energy.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah. Cathedrals, all cathedrals on the planet are on these things called ley lines, high magnetism, high energy areas. Those symbols on the church are what's called sacred geometry. Sacred geometry shapes are universal shapes. Basically, our universe is shapes and shapes of the universe that attract energy. So whenever you go to a big cathedral and you walk in and you feel like, oh, I'm so enlightened, I'm so highly spiritual, that's energy. Number one. Number two, they spray frankincense and myrrh in the air to increase your energy in your body. And you can get that yourself. Get you some frankincense and some myrrh, put it in your house and see if you don't feel more energetic. Now imagine that in an energy building that already attracts more energy to it.
It's like just supercharged. It's
Yeah, it's
supercharged.
supercharged. That's why
It's
when people go to
supercharged.
yeah, that's why when people go to cathedrals, they're like, "Oh, I feel the spirit and all that." No, that's extra energy.
Man, that's crazy. That is
Hmm.
so crazy. And what do you think? What do you think the pyramids and the all-seeing eye have to do with one another? Do you think that's the depiction that they're trying to kind of hijack of the stone?
Yeah. If you look at the dollar bill and you look at the eye cut off, the Ben stones were taken off the top of pyramids and put in museums. And the ones in museums aren't even the real Ben stones. They're like replicas that they made. The real
Mm,
Ben stones are underground or in vaults somewhere. All the good technology and all the secret stuff they got in vaults and underground because most people don't know, like in the USA we have a whole underground cavern and tunnel system still. We
yeah.
build on civilizations and we still got stuff under there people don't know about. So what they do, like the Ben stones, you know how it's on the dollar bill on the back when you look at the triangle and you
Mhm.
see that all-seeing eye. An organization since that time has been influencing the world since that time. And that all seeing eye used to be from what's called the illuminated ones. Before the Illuminati, it was called the illuminated ones, and they were here to help and enlighten people, but they were corrupted over time and became the Illuminati that we know today. And that all seeing eye is your third eye. So basically, they cut people's connection off from the third eye and they show you on the dollar bill. Same thing if you look at the dollar bill in the front and you look at that big number one, all the way to the right hand side is a little owl. You'll see a little bitty owl. You'll see a circle and a little owl right next to the big one on the right hand corner of that big number one at the top. The owl represents the evil deity Moloch. Moloch is a deity that they worship.
Whoa, is this on
Uh,
every bill?
yeah, you can get a
No
dollar right.
shit,
You can get you a dollar right now and look at it. It's on every bill. Every
man.
time, every
An
time you.
owl, Moloch. Whoa,
Let
whoa,
me
whoa,
see. I
whoa.
got a dollar right here.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, bro, but you just blew my fucking mind. Because
Let me see.
I've known that Moloch, the owl and Moloch have correlation, but
Let me show you. So I think I got it right here. All right. So let me Let me zoom. Let me get the zoom correct. Hold on just a second.
Yep, I
I
got you.
got you. Give me 1 second, y'all. I got y'all. None. All right. So this is $1, right? I want y'all to look right over here in the right hand corner. Let me see. Hold on. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna show you from the dollar in the right hand corner, all the way in the newer bills that's over here in the right, you'll see a little owl. Let me see. Because they let me see. There it is, right there. If you look in the flower portion, right here, look in the flower portion right there. There's a little owl.
Yeah, I can see him. I can kind of see him.
It's hardly visible, right? Hold on, let me see. Right there. You see?
Yeah.
It's not just a petal, it's an owl right there. And on the newer bills with the white right here, it's on the right hand side. Basically, every time you spend $1 bill, it's a ritual.
Whoa, dude.
Every time you spend $1 bill, it's a ritual. And they put it right in your face so that you don't understand or see it. But that's a little owl right there. I know it's hard to see, but
That is just mind blowing to me.
yeah. So basically, every time you spend $1, it's a ritual, and you're worshiping that God. Like, hey, I'm spending the money to worship you. That's why, you know, same thing on the back. You see how it has the all-seeing eye at the top, and it cuts it off.
Yeah.
That's their indication that they cut us off from the connection of our third eye.
Wow. And that's probably why they have so many pyramids and in different like occult depictions.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a mockery, huh?
Yeah, and a lot of different civilizations have the same dome I was telling you about too.
Oh,
I
wow,
have
man.
that video on my page too. All the stuff I'm talking about, I got it right on my
That's
page.
right. They do. They do. And then it was like the last one was like, look at NASA looking all fucking yeah,
Round.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Every single other one was saying that was some other shit, man. That was so crazy. And then two, like I saw on your page, like the plateaus being bases of ancient giant trees.
Mm-hmm. So
Is
some
that
of those,
energy connected? The energy that
yes,
comes from those trees to the pyramids?
yes. So look, they're not connect. They're separate from the pyramids, but they do the
Uh-huh.
same. They do the same purpose. So just like the movie, the Avatar movie, the with the blue dudes, that's a
Mm-hmm.
documentary for us. Beings came to our planet and cut our connection from world trees. I got a video on my page showing certain mountains looking too like laser cut, like it was something that laser cut. We used to have a bunch of world trees on the planet, and the world trees would emit auras like the aurora borealis. Y'all, that used to be the aura of the planet. Our energy used to look that color. That's why you see the sky looking purple and green and red. It's not just no weather events like they've been telling us all these years.
Man.
Um, that's how the sky used to look with the big giant trees. We even in Antarctica, in one of my videos, I show a helicopter flying to a base, and they put their base on top of the tree. And if you look at the way the base is cut, it's not mountains. Some of those mountains look like cut tree stumps.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa,
They've been,
man.
like I said, all of our history, most of what we learn is just lies. Straight up. Most of what we learn is just lies because you're a walking nuclear bomb. You have so much energy in your cells. Everybody is a walking nuclear bomb. Think about it this way. If I can harness the energy from your body, what could I do with that technology? What do you think? You know, they put melanin and computer chips, melanin in your phone with coltan. Where do you think so many people go missing that are melanin per year? They actually use the melanin to make weapons too. They have melanin weapons because melanin will conduct electricity.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, that is so fucking crazy.
Yeah, all this, like I said, all this stuff ties together. Remember what I said about the roots of the tree? Once you start at that root tree and you start branching out, you'll realize how much stuff is connected.
Mm. How did it and why did it all die out? Those big trees do you think that it was cut down by us?
No, it was cut by other beings that didn't want us to connect. Because when we're in nature and we connect, we can access more of our powers.
Mm-hmm.
All the foods that we've eaten over the course of centuries, we didn't even need to eat. We survive off energy like the plants. We just had photosynthesis, we had chlorophyll in our skin at one point, and we were just absorbing energy. We really didn't even need to eat. And a lot of people's appetites are leaving right now all of a sudden, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we're elevating again. We're getting to that energetic point to where you won't even need to eat if you're at a high enough vibration, frequency, and energy. You won't even need to eat, but you have to go and meditate and you have to be in the sun. The sun will give you your energy because we absorb the sun through our skin. Some people don't because of, skin diseases that were passed down genetically.
I see. And
Yes.
with the with the pyramids basically being like beacons for the source connection. In a hypothetical situation, do you think that if the bin stones were returned to the pyramids, like the actual ones, if they were put back, do you think it would restore some natural power force around the world?
Yeah. Yeah. Because check this out. A Russian, I have it on my page. A Russian scientist did an experiment where he had a bunch of money and he built pyramids out of PVC pipe and fiberglass.
Uh-huh.
Depending on the dimensions of the pyramid, he did an experiment where he put mice inside of the pyramid with a certain virus, and he put the same another set of mice on the outside, the control group. What the mice on the inside had a 10 times higher survival rate than the mice on the outside. They put vegetation on the inside. That's why they don't build pyramid greenhouses. If you build a pyramid greenhouse, your yield will be 2 to 3 times higher than your normal yield with any fruits, plants, vegetables, any of that.
Oh,
Number two,
wow.
they used to use this thing called electroculture. They would use copper around the plants. The copper would have a magnet or magnet like wire to go into the ground to produce more. I told you the world is magnetism, right? You
Mm-hmm.
put a wire into the ground, and they didn't even need to use soil or fertilizer. They didn't need to use fertilizer at all. And I have a video on my page. You can check it out. It's a copper pyramid with quartz at the top of the pyramid, and inside the pyramid is a round circles. These circles help to harness energy from the earth, and they can increase the yield of all your growth. So if you
Wow.
decide to build a pyramid, if depending on the dimensions of your pyramid, whatever you put inside of it will grow twice as fast and twice as bigger than it normally would.
That's insane, man. So it's obviously there's no mistake. There's no mistake that there was pyramids in multiple different parts of the world. It wasn't just Egyptian. And
Nah,
there's no denying that the fact that it was built that way, there's a very significant it's a very significant reason why it was built in the way that it was built for these power points to be connected, and then it like
they used to use what most people don't know. We used to be a water civilization. A lot of civilizations we see were above on top of water, and they would use aqueducts and aqua farming like hydroponics. They
Mm-hmm.
would use that to grow their stuff back in the day,
Wow, man.
like
That
their
is
version of
fucking
hydroponics.
wild.
Yeah, bro, all this is, you can look up everything I'm talking about, and I have a lot of videos on my page that explain all of this.
That's just so crazy, dude. It's
Yeah,
just so crazy to me. And bro, if you have some more time, there's another topic I wanted to get into with you.
yeah,
That totally ties into pyramids, because I was like, I've been just doing some dives on the CIA archives lately,
yeah,
because I've just been having fun with it, right?
yeah,
And I was searching up astral projecting, right? And I
yeah,
was reading through these I was reading through these shit, what's it called? It's a transcript.
yeah,
The dude's talking, asking them questions. And this subject that they were testing the astral projecting on, they were telling him these coordinates, blah blah blah. He projected to said coordinates, and then then after that projected to a different place, and when he was in the different place, he described literally like power lines, kind of like source power lines coming up, and he was sitting on top of an Egyptian pyramid, he said. And so like obviously somehow that shit has to tie into each other. So I just, and just for people that don't know, could you give me an explanation on what astral projection is?
All right, astral projection is your spirit, but when your physical body goes to sleep, your spirit or your astral body wakes up. So when it wakes up, your spirit body is your actual body. That's your body that has transverse lived lives, went to different dimensions, time traveled. That's possible. I have a document from the three-letter agency you can go and check out. They already did tests on it. The Monroe Institute back in the 1980s did tests for dimensional travel, time travel, astral projection, remote viewing, telekinesis, like moving stuff with your mind. They had a Russian woman that they did a experiment on. She could move items. She had an accident, and after the accident, she could move items with her mind, and they would have her move items for hours at a time to study how she did it. And what it was part of her astral power. You have astral power inside of you. So the astral version of you can transverse, like I said, time travel, can go into different dimensions. That second strand of DNA that you have, they call useless, is a crystalline DNA. That DNA is where all your past life memories are. That's where your powers are. That's where your astral, in a science term, that's where your astral projection and power comes from. A lot of people's power right now is increasing because the energy of the entire planet is rising. So people are having dreams of levitating, being underwater. That's not a coincidence. You probably used to levitate. So part of the pyramids in the astral form is when you meditate next to a pyramid, it increases the energy that your astral body produces. So you could do even more incredible feats if you meditate next to a pyramid. So it increases, like I said earlier, it increases your electromagnetic field. You have a toroidal field around you, right? When you go next to a pyramid, it amplifies that energy. So if you can control that electromagnetism around your body and you're around a pyramid, you could levitate, you could move, and astral projection and remote viewing. So if you've ever been at your house, I'll give you a quick summary. So imagine you're at your house, you sitting down, like how you're sitting right now. You close your eyes, you know your neighborhood, you know your house, you know everywhere you are right now, right? Close your eyes and imagine a spirit version of you coming out of your body and going straight up outside of your house. Now you're right above your house and you know how everything looks around your neighborhood. Even if you think you don't, your brain has already mapped out the whole neighborhood, the whole area you're in. You use your spirit in order to basically look at everything. That's remote viewing. That's like you seeing stuff while you're in a stationary position. You could shoot your spirit or your astral body out to go and view things. That's what that is.
Wow,
So
man, so
yeah,
wild. That's just
yeah.
so wild.
And like I said, this is actual stuff. You can go to the three-letter agency site and go look it up. Like
Hmm.
literally, they've been doing these experiments since the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, man. It's I think that they used a lot of that a lot of the astral projections and remote viewing I believe was a big part of the MK Ultras.
Yes, yes, indeed. Y'all should look up the Gateway Project. Look up the Gateway Project, and you'll understand. You can look it up on YouTube, or you can TikTok, Instagram it, Twitter. They'll explain it a little more. But they literally had people. They have agencies where they have people who do remote viewing, astral projection for the government.
Yeah,
Y'all,
man.
yeah, they would actually spy on other countries who are remote viewing.
Straight up espionage fucking type shit. Metal,
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear
Yeah,
Solid. That's
literally.
the espionage game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that dude in real life type of shit, man. So that
Mm-hmm.
is so crazy. And so you think I think, or what I think is so that information was likely classified because they don't want us to be able to be in contact with those with that source of power. And
Yeah.
also a big thing that I read about online when it has to do with astral projecting is people say that they can get in contact with their uh one
Higher
second,
self.
higher self. I gotta answer this call.
No worries.
I'll be back with you in a second.
Oh, no worries.
Hi, this is
So for you people who are here, yes, you can contact higher dimensional entities, your spirit family or your soul tribe, because like I said, this is just your physical body. Okay. Your spirit body is your real body. This is just like a skin that you're using in order to experience life. You can go and contact your spirit guides. The ones you can't see around you is because we only have 1% light spectrum in our eyes. That's it. There's 99% of things you don't see around your environment. Okay. So, oh, welcome back. I was giving them a little tip before I left, before you left.
Oh man, that's funny. My tenants here. I swear to God, I can't. I have an emergency phone and I have to answer it if it calls, but it's like so tedious sometimes. They're just like
Oh, I understand, brother.
they're so tedious sometimes. She's like, "Can you come spray this in my house?" I'm like, this is an emergency call phone. You know, it's like you call this when it's fire, flood, or blood, dude. You know what I'm saying? And they be calling me asking me to Febreze their shit, dude. I swear to God.
That's funny. That's
It's
funny.
so crazy, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even remember where we were at. What was I saying? Or what you
Yeah.
were saying something to me. I totally lost the train of thought. That the sound of that phone fucking stresses me out. Sometimes I answer that shit and it's just like the world's going to hell, man. My ceiling
Yeah.
fell down and I got water, you know? So it just
That wasn't a coincidence.
no, I bet not. No, that's some synchronicity shit, dude. We're getting too deep right there. So the what fucking
Yeah.
simulation, the system said, gotta fuck that information up real
If
quick.
y'all have ever seen The Matrix, that stuff happens. Whenever some people talk about a lot of stuff, they'll send a signal to somebody around them, like The Matrix, and they'll let's say you're meditating, all of a sudden your phone just rings. All of a sudden, it's not just coincidences. Sometimes.
Oh man, for sure, dude. That is so crazy, bro. That
Yeah.
is so crazy. Out of all the times too. I mean, it's like the phone doesn't
Hmm.
ring very often, but it does every once in a while. And it's
Yeah.
like this is probably like what is going to be like a dedicated hour, 30 minutes out of my entire day, and it hasn't rang the whole time that I've had it, except for this point in time.
Yep.
Very strange synchronicity right there, huh?
Uh huh.
That is a very strange synchronicity.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. So basically, just keep your eyes open and remember, all the stuff you learn is a lie.
that's
Everything.
very true. Very
Everything.
true. So crazy, man.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked me to come, man. I really do. Get the word out so people can understand and learn.
Yeah, man. I had a great time talking with you as I always do.
Yeah, man. You're good people, man. And look forward to seeing more podcasts with you, man.
Of course, I'd love to have you on again at some other point in time. Some other point in time in the future, man.
Oh yeah, I'm down, man. If y'all want to follow me, you can follow me at Voilame underscore 3.0 or Voilame underscore 4. You can follow me on Telegram too at Soft Facts After Dark, all one word. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Voilame underscore. If you're looking for some information and want to wake up, I'll express it for you, literally.
Right on, buddy. Hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on and doing this podcast again. I'm gonna actually go spray Febreze in this lady's house because I'm just a nice guy.
I understand, man.
Yeah, right on, man.
I appreciate you so much, brother. I hope you take care, bro.
I will, bro. I appreciate you.
Hey, y'all take care.
Mhm. Good one.